How's it going out there, slot car world? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about controllers. I just happen to have a couple controllers starting to go bad here. This one, it doesn't quite go all the way back. So you let off and the car keeps going a little bit. Same thing with this one I had apart. It just gets hung up a little bit. So describe a little bit about the parts of the controller, and how they work and stuff, and how I go about cleaning them and fixing them up a little bit. I know a lot of newer controllers are going away from the resistor style, but there's still a lot of you out there that have these old resistor style controllers, even like the AFX ones that come with the sets. They're resistor style, but this one also has that same issue. Doesn't quite go back all the way. So yeah, let's dig into this controller here. It's just 3 screws that comes apart. You open it up and you got your frame. It's usually in here, and that just pulls right out. And your trigger, your resistor here. This is a 4 ohm resistor. Let's see if I can get this resistor off. They come off pretty easily usually. A little bit of a small screwdriver there, but there we go. Pull that out. There's your resistor. There's your wiper. Zoom in there, you can see the wiper's kind of corroded. Got a little bit of brass showing, but it's not worn evenly. It's got some rough edges on it. Same with the resistor here. I'm gonna just wipe that down. Hit this with a little bit of sandpaper and go from there. My trusty rubbing alcohol here. I use this stuff so much, rubbing alcohol. Just get rid of any of that excess yellow stuff on there, the ceramic. So yeah, anyway, while I'm doing this, a little how these work. You got your wiper, and the further up the resistor it goes, the more current it's letting through. But if you're not getting all the way back off, your car's just going to keep rolling. Get a little sandpaper here. It's just 400 grit. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just trying to kind of make a smoother transition. Grab my, this is 1000 grit. I always just hit this a little bit. Clean up them contacts. This could be the case for controller not working either. If you have no current going through, you might not be making contact with your resistor. Your resistor could be broken. Your wiper could be broken. So yeah, get that pretty well cleaned up. Another thing is, if you look straight down it, put this back together. You don't need to over tighten it. You don't want to break your ceramic. But if you look down it, if your wiper is bent and not touching, your controller's not going to work. So you want it to be like a nice, smooth, gradual feeling transition there. And now you can see that one's springing all the way back. Another thing you could do if you want a stiffer trigger is cut some coils out of your spring and rebend it. I've done that before for like a real stiff trigger. But yeah, these are just triggers just controllers we mess around with here with the kids on the track, and no serious racing here anymore. It's all about having fun. And check your terminal connections here. Make sure your soldering's still good. Down here. Yeah, that all looks good. Clean my track up a little bit. Now I gotta get my workbench cleared off. I always say that, and it never happens. Yeah, here we are. Just run these, route your wires down, make sure they're not getting binded up. Everything looks good there. On this particular controller, the one side of it is keyed for the little nut to sit in there. I might have put that one in the wrong spot. One of these is longer. Let's see if this one fits back here. Nope, that's the shorter one. I'll just swap these out. There we go. Got a nice functioning controller again. Just a quick, 5-10 minutes spend on it, and keep your controllers running nice. Keep you a happier slot car driver. Also, another thing with this AFX controller, open this one up here. These I typically shorten the spring because they don't have a lot of recoil. Something you can do fairly easily yourself, fairly quick, and it's free, so can't beat that. And a lot of people complain about these controllers when they first get them. But yeah, same style. Your resistor, got your wiper. But I take this spring and I'll actually cut a coil off of it, stretch it, and rebend it. And that gives you a much firmer trigger. Another thing I like to do with these is just ever so slightly bend the wiper towards the resistor. So just take it, give it just the littlest bend. And that actually, it rides up here on this little half moon shape. That'll just give you a little bit extra clearance so your car don't continue to roll into the turns. Doesn't have to spring back so far. Close this up. This one actually feels pretty decent, so I'm not gonna shorten that spring right now. But yeah, just keep that in mind. If your trigger feels spongy, it's not springing back good, just open it up and cut a coil or two off that spring and rebend the hook on it, and work out a lot better for you. Okay, one last thing I want to cover in this video is ohms. This could be confusing for some people. You know, if you're in the slot cars and stuff, you probably understand ohms, but as always, I like to gear these videos more towards the newbies, you know, people just trying to learn some stuff. 120 ohms, 4 ohms. So if you have a car that you drive and as soon as you touch the trigger, it takes off, you're probably too low on ohms because you don't have the correct resistance. Like the Mega G Plus cars, you need that 120 ohms. 4 ohms, more for these bigger cars, you know, Parmas and Womps and stuff, Flexis, JKs, all commercial grade stuff. I like to run 90 ohms with my Tycos, but the Tycos with the 120 ohm controller, you almost have to go half throttle before it even starts to move, and then it'll start to go. So that's how you know you have too many ohms, is if you have to squeeze almost all the way to the end, and then your car starts to move. So that's too much ohms. Squeeze it a little bit, and it takes off. That's too little ohms. Just easy to remember that way. I'm not going to go into like Ohm's law and all that. There's plenty of videos on YouTube and information out there if you want to learn that, but that's just from a slot car aspect of it. Something to remember. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this video helps some of you. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you're thinking. Thanks so much for the positive comments. You know, it's pretty much all positive. Lots of love flowing in on Instagram, on YouTube. So many subscribers. I can't even describe how excited I am that I've got over 600 people that hit the subscribe button on this channel. When I started it less than a year ago, I thought maybe 10, 15, 20 maybe people would subscribe. I'd get a few plays. But yeah, it's just absolutely taken off. And just want to thank everybody for that. But yeah, as always, take it easy. Until the next one.